Donald Trump's administration has claimed that they are talking to over 70 countries right now, working out negotiations on how to end the trade war and, of course, benefit solely the United States, right? We don't care what happens to them. We just want to make sure we're sitting pretty, and the administration totally swears they're absolutely working on these plans with other countries. Now, unfortunately, none of these plans have been revealed publicly. We have no idea what these negotiations entail, but most importantly, we have no idea if they're even actually happening. However, there are scant reports here and there showing that some countries have decided, or at least said they're considering, purchasing more U.S. goods, to get rid of the trade imbalance between their country and the United States, which is just one of many reasons Donald Trump has said he put the tariffs in place to begin with. But none of these planned purchases are actually enough to completely erase the trade imbalance, nor are they long-term investments. Most of them are really just one-time purchases that really aren't going to do a whole heck of a lot to benefit the economy of the United States. But the country of Vietnam has come up with a clever idea. We know, they say, how to prevent tariffs on our country and still get on Donald Trump's good side. And I gotta tell you, this plan is actually quite brilliant. I will tell you what it is in a moment, but first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. First, Elon Musk gutted federal agencies. Then he slashed public services. Now, his people are fighting to keep their corruption under wraps. But a federal judge ruled Musk's alleged Department of Government efficiency is not exempt from open records laws. Judge Christopher Cooper made it clear that the Trump administration completely failed to argue against the fact that DOJ is acting with massive unchecked power. Ground News analyzed dozens of sources covering this from across the political spectrum. And comparing coverage, you'll see how some spin this as a partisan issue while others call it what it is, proof of corruption. Same story, different spin, and exactly why you can't blindly trust the first headline you see without knowing the biases behind them. That's why I've been relying on my partners at Ground News for a long time. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website lets you compare coverage with context on each source's political bias, credibility, and financial incentives. This way, you're not just taking one source's word for what's happening, you're seeing past the layers of selective reporting shaping your worldview. Billionaires and political agendas are controlling more and more of our media, deciding what they want us to see and think. Ground News, on the other hand, it's independent, it's nonpartisan, and only committed to helping us think critically about the stories shaping everything from public opinion to public policy. And since I can't track everything Trump and Musk are doing or undoing alone, I've curated feeds that track them for me from credible sources to make sure I'm giving you all the most reliable information. And now you can too, for nearly half the price. Go to ground.news/Farron to get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for just $5 a month. Take back control of how you stay informed today. The link is in the video description. So Vietnam knows that, hey, yes, we have a trade surplus with the United States. They have a deficit with us. They're taking more than we take from them. But at the same time, we're not in a position where we can just buy a whole lot more from them. One, we don't have enough money to really do that. And of course, we don't even need it. So how can we get on Trump's good side and avoid the tariffs, they said? And the solution was simple. You see, Donald Trump wants to build a $1.5 billion luxury resort in the country of Vietnam. And he has to go through all this approval process. There's environmental regulations you got to get around. So Vietnam said, you know what? What if we just fast track it, right? You want to build a $1.5 billion property over here. What if we just rubber stamp it and say, yeah, then can we avoid tariffs? Let me read you this. Vietnam, which has a surplus of more than $120 billion with the US and saw tariffs on its goods rise to 46% on Liberation Day, recently closed a $300 million financing deal to buy a fleet of new Boeing jets. Again, that's just a one-time thing, so it's not really going to, change the imbalance, especially when it's $300 million, but they have a $120 billion trade surplus with us. It pushed through the authorization of Starlink, so putting more money in Elon Musk's pocket, but they accelerated the approvals for a $1.5 billion Trump resort. So Donald Trump is going to have what? Mar-a-Lago, Vietnam? Bedminster, Vietnam? We don't know what the name's going to be, but that is the best way to do it, right? Why not just bribe this guy? We don't have to actually reduce the trade imbalance if we just play to his vanity and greed. Again, totally brilliant. Totally works out in Vietnam's favor. The big question is, will Donald Trump do it? They're already kissing up to Elon Musk by saying, okay, we'll subscribe to Starlink. Kissing up to Trump, okay, we'll let you build your resort here. Is Donald Trump going to publicly sell out the United States and undermine his entire trade war just to get this property in Vietnam? I think we all know the answer to that, and it'll be hilarious when it happens because it will prove, undoubtedly, that his entire rationale for the trade war is completely bogus. So this is going to be a fun one to watch, not just to see if Trump sells out the United States, he will, but it's going to be fun to see all of these other countries say like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. Hey, Donnie, how about Trump Tower over here? How about a resort over there? Yeah, we can do all this for you. That may have been Trump's goal all along. So this is an incredibly interesting move. And Vietnam absolutely outsmarted Donald Trump in his own trade war. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.